Christianity and Judaism, two of the world's three major Abrahamic religions, share an extensive history and cultural background that traces back thousands of years. Despite this shared heritage, the two faiths have often been perceived as distinctly separate entities. In the 1st century CE, about the time Christianity emerged, it was a movement largely comprised of Jews in the region of Palestine. However, as the faith began to spread throughout the Greco-Roman world, it diverged from its Jewish roots, eventually leading to the establishment of two separate religions. In this video, we will delve into the intricate relationship between Christianity and Judaism, exploring how two faiths with a shared heritage diverged over the centuries. In the 1st century CE, the Mediterranean basin was predominantly under Roman rule, which played a significant role in the historical context of both religions. The primary languages of the Roman Empire, Latin in the West and Greek in the East, facilitated an array of cultural and religious interactions. Many Jews, particularly those in the eastern part of the empire, found themselves in constant contact with Hellenistic philosophies that permeated their surroundings. This cultural milieu provoked a multitude of responses from Jewish communities, leading to the emergence of various sects within Judaism during the Second Temple period. These included the Pharisees, who proposed a more interpretive approach to the law, the Sadducees, who emphasized the temple's importance, and other groups like the Zealots and the Essenes. As Christianity began to form its identity, it too mirrored this religious diversity. Within a century of its inception, many factions emerged, each with varying interpretations of Jesus' teachings and their implications for their followers. This diversity was crucial as the early Christian community grappled with its identity, especially as non-Jewish converts began to join the movement. The integration of Gentiles into Christianity raised complex questions regarding observance of Jewish law, particularly circumcision. Pauline teachings played a crucial role in shaping these discussions. Paul of Tarsus advocated that while Jews should continue adhering to Jewish law, Gentiles were not bound by such requirements, thus offering an accommodating solution that allowed the faith to flourish among non-Jews. The backdrop of the Jewish revolts against Roman rule, notably the Jewish War, further complicated the relationship between the two religions. As the revolts were primarily Jewish in nature, the Christian community largely distanced itself from these uprisings, leading to a perception among Romans that the two groups were separate. Post-revolt, Christianity began experiencing persecution, while Jewish communities found themselves in a different position, often overlooked by Roman authorities. The destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE heralded a significant shift within Judaism, as communities now turned towards rabbinical leadership and a law-centric faith devoid of temple-centric practices. This transformation in Judaism catalyzed a critique of Christianity, which some Jews began to regard as heretical. In turn, early Christians, faced with their growing identity, began to formulate theological stances that increasingly distanced them from their Jewish roots. Figures like Marcion rejected ties to the Hebrew Bible, proposing instead a Christian canon that excluded Jewish texts. Such theological developments characterized the early delineation between the two faiths, with some Christians adopting supersessionist views that posited the New Covenant of Christianity as superior to the Old Covenant, traditionally associated with Judaism. As the 3rd and 4th centuries unfolded, Christianity began to gain political power within the Roman Empire, particularly under Emperor Constantine, who legalized the faith. This newfound legitimacy allowed Christianity to develop distinctly away from Judaism, as Christian leaders emphasized the obsolescence of Judaic practices. Meanwhile, rabbinical authority solidified in Jewish communities, shaping a very different religious landscape. Yet, even as Christianity consolidated its differences, moments of intellectual cross-pollination persisted. For instance, in Carthage, scholars from both faiths collaborated to counter pagan influences. However, the growing exclusivity within both religions enhanced their separateness, with Jewish Christians becoming increasingly rare and eventually fading from view. By the 6th and 7th centuries, both Christianity and Judaism had established firm identities that recognized their differences, particularly with the emergence of Islam, which regarded both groups within a shared Abrahamic lineage yet distinguished them as separate communities. The division that had evolved through theological, cultural, and political factors remained entrenched, shaping the trajectory of both faiths throughout history. Ultimately, as Christianity and Judaism grew into their distinct identities, they contributed richly to the tapestry of the Abrahamic family, sharing roots that were deeply intertwined yet ultimately divergent. The complexities of these developments underscore a shared history marked by mutual influences, challenges, and theological evolutions that crafted the religions we recognize today, emblematic of the enduring legacies left by their ancient beginnings.